All right, everybody. I am here with Lisa Bongean from Primitive Gatherings. So happy to see you, Lisa. Thank you for joining us and talking to us about how this 1 year of quarantine has really shown how resilient you truly are. And resilience, of course, is your ability to bounce back from difficulties. So talk to us about what you learned about yourself during this time.
First off, I kind of took this year to invest in myself. Like I knew I wasn't going to be running around the country, so I'd be home. So I kind of dedicated it to taking care of myself. And one of the things that I really needed to work on was weight loss and being home. And one of the first things I did was, I wanted a coach, and then I found Dara, and that was amazing. So then with that came all kinds of benefits to um, not only making myself better, but making my business better and working on that as well. So just making myself a little bit more confident to go out there and to start a YouTube channel and start teaching, on free videos versus always going to a big class and stuff like that. So um, it just was a big um, confidence builder to learn more about myself, to learn a bunch of tools that will help me for the rest of my life with my relationships, with just everything, into being a better human, a better boss, just better to myself, to treating, my family members, my husband, all that. Just it was just really good to dive deep into some of those things that I never had the time to even think about before, much less work on. So
Yeah,
that's
I
what
think
he did for me.
Yeah. So I think a lot of times when people look at you, I mean, they see you, you're a go-getter, you've had so many accomplishments and all of that. So I think a lot of people might be surprised when you said like you didn't have that confidence because you really are a really confident person. But what was the shift of this like new level of confidence? Because really
Well,
you're
I think that everybody has a little bit of self, like, oh my God, I need to lose, 15 pounds. Like when I saw myself on video, I was like, oh my gosh, we don't realize, you know, like I never thought I was chubby. Well, and all of a sudden there's the evidence, and you're like, you kind of like pull in because you don't feel like you're worthy enough to be out there on a video teaching this or that, because you think that they're looking at you and judging you, which it's totally not true. They just want to learn, and they don't really care what you look like or if you're fluffy or not. But in order for you to feel better about yourself, it just was a natural thing to do, is to get more confidence in in studying yourself when you are on video, to be like, oh, I say way too many times. So just learning all those little things and being a student and always trying to be better. Like if you I don't know of too many people who are like, oh yeah, I'm awesome, I got this, I don't need any help, I don't need anybody. Nobody gets very far like that. So we're just normal people, and you know we
yeah,
need help just like anybody else,
right.
no matter
And the
what
thing,
you've accomplished.
yeah. Well, and it's super interesting because like if everyone who was skinny and rich
Yeah.
had all like everything, like movie stars would never commit suicide and they would be the happiest people and they would never have problems. So we're learning that just because if you're thin or if you have all the money, that doesn't mean that you're not going to.
Right. That doesn't equal happiness. Right.
Right, right. So, but the tools that we teach is that I teach you and that you've been able to really pick up on is like to have a balanced life. We need to have this ability to look at life in a new way. And that's one of the things that we've done together. It's also been really fun to watch as we do lose weight, like you and like all the clients that I have. I actually teach you and them and myself as well to like appreciate and love the whole process.
Right.
So you can actually be whatever weight and still be happy if you change
Right.
the way you think about things.
Right. And you're not the number on the scale. I mean, you're way more than that. And I mean, and to know that the scale just doesn't always just go like this, and only if it's going like this are you going to be happy. Like I was happy at all these little spots as they went down. And uh, being happy and being accepting about who you are is half the battle, and not being so mean to yourself because, you didn't lose that week or whatever. I mean, it's kind of crazy, um, but it works. So,
Well, we've been really conditioned in our society
right,
to believe that only way we can feel good about ourselves if we weigh a certain amount and if we have a certain size of jeans or whatever
we're
that is.
perfect. We're
Right.
perfect. Yeah.
So I love your example, Lisa. Lisa's actually you hired me right at the end of March last year, didn't you?
Yep. Yep.
Just
I
found
think I
our
was one of the first, wasn't I?
yeah. And so we've been working together for it's almost coming up to a year. So how
Mhm.
much weight have you lost, Lisa?
35.
35 pounds. And in that 35 pounds, did you ever feel deprived or did you have to
Mm,
spend a lot of time counting calories and working out
no,
like
I'm not a counter. I'm not a journaler. I'm not gonna count macros or points or any of that stuff. And I never was hungry and I never felt deprived and still got to eat my favorite things.
that's right. I love it. So one of the things that we work on is learning to think about our thinking. And with resilience and celebrating this month, the more that we can be open to ourselves and really see what's going on, and like what you said about celebrating yourself, we in order to really live a life, we have to actually recognize all the things that are awesome because otherwise we don't have a contrast. We just live a life of gray, and that is no fun.
Right. Right.
So I love
Yeah.
that
I
you're
mean,
not.
one of the things that you taught me most was like, Lisa, do you ever just sit back and be like, oh my God, I did this and look what you done and you have this and oh my, you're gonna build a new building or and y- I never did. I never sat back and said, "Oh, um, this is really cool. Look what I did," or "I really accomplished this, and I really worked hard for this, and look what happened because I believed in myself." So I never took that time to sit back and reflect on how far I've come because I was always so busy moving on to the next thing that I didn't appreciate what I've done. And just learning to do that really helps you understand yourself better and cheer yourself on and not be so focused running on the wheel.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's also when you don't give yourself credit and you don't let yourself be in like awe of yourself, you don't understand the process of how you got all of those amazing results. And so then you can't, it's not as easy to keep replicating it.
Right. Yeah.
And so this way you can actually say, oh, this is why I'm getting these results. This is why I have, because we are always getting the results in our life, whether
Mm.
we're doing them consciously or consciously. So when more conscious we can become of our life, then the more we can have the results that we really want because we are now the driver of our bus and we're not like at the mercy or whim of other people
Right.
or other things like, oh, the only reason I'm successful is because X, Y, and Z, rather than because I had these thoughts that were super amazing. And then I had this feeling to drive my actions to then get the results.
Right. Or as the saying goes, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
You're
So
right. You're right.
you're right.
So thanks, Lisa. So is there any advice that you would give anybody, especially if they're not feeling, let's say I think one of the problems we could have with doing a series like this on resilience is if you're sitting here watching this video right now thinking, I didn't lose the weight or I didn't develop. I mean, like you've developed like how many fabric lines and how many books, like you've really used this time in such an amazing way. So if there's someone out there who's feeling like they're not meeting up and they didn't maybe do as much, what would you say to them?
I think just investing in yourself and then the results will come. I mean, you really need to learn. I don't think this some of the stuff comes natural um, to everybody. That they have to be. It has to be taught. You have to really be taught about your thoughts and what you're thinking and how what happens from that. So I think that everybody should invest in themselves because that's your number one investment, whether it's health wise, whether it's, business wise, whatever your goals are, it's going to help you in all aspects of what you do. So it's definitely worth it. And I know money is a big thing for some people, but um, I think there's ways of making it a priority, and we really can learn to live without a lot of things. I
Yeah.
think this year, especially.
We have
Um,
learned, haven't we?
yes, yes, yes. So some of those things that maybe we used to buffer on, you can get rid of some of those things and invest them a little bit differently, and for better results.
Yeah. So even
But
investing your time, like
yes.
I just finished this journal and I started this journal on November 11th, 2020. I just finished it today and today
I
is
know, I'm so jealous.
so like not, I mean, Lisa's talking about investing in your brain, which of course I always say your brain is always your best investment. But even like watching my YouTube channel, listening to these things and just journaling, even on the free stuff that I have, can create so much change for yourself. There's so much awareness.
Yeah, you give so much away as far as, there's a lot of stuff in the content, that the free stuff on your
Yeah.
social platforms. So if you want to give it a try, it's definitely worth it. It has
Right.
value. Yep.
And so, but I was just so glad. I was actually just watching our video. I think it was actually our consult, the very first time I met you, and I was asking you all sorts of questions. And I remember asking you, what would your future self tell you to do in this decision?
What was my answer?
You're like, it's a no-brainer. Like if you could lose weight, have a better life, solve any problem with these tools, let's do it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for letting me be a part of your resilience journey and being able to be part of your tools. And keep on going, Lisa. You create so much beauty in this world and you inspire so many women. You create so much beautiful fabric and content, and you're such a great example to others of just like go get it and serving and of love. So, and oh, so you just have to tell us what to look forward to in the future to connect with you more.
Uh,
Because there's
well,
some pretty stuff happening with primitive
yeah,
gatherings.
we are opening up a 10,000 square foot retreat house that will hold 25 people, sleep 25 people. It'll hold more than that, but sleep 25. And then we also have a 23,000 square foot store and warehouse going up, all on like a 10-acre destination place where we'll have a YouTube studio and all kinds of stuff to reach out and share and just teach everybody that they can stitch, uh, get better every day at it. And if you want to create beautiful things, that we're there for them on their stitching journey.
So,
So,
how do people connect with you, Lisa?
well, I'm on, we have a Facebook group called Stitch with Lisa Bongean, which is also the same title of our YouTube channel, Stitch with Lisa Bongean. And we also have an awesome website, www.primitivegatherings.us. And then Instagram, it's Lisa Bongean. And what else is there? I think
And
that's,
it's Jean as in Gean, not the
yeah,
jeans that you wear.
not a J. No, it's a
I
Gea.
made that mistake once. I was like, oops, a daisy.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
So, thank you so much, Lisa. It was so great to talk to you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.